Man, if we had hold music like that, I might actually have a job right now. Welcome, one and all, to Ninja Machine Direct. It has been quite some time since we've done one of these. In fact, this might be the first one this year. Not a time zone difference, Wolf. Xander and I are both Eastern time zone. So, a lot of things to announce tonight, just to give you a roadmap. We have a big announcement at the beginning that will feature a trailer video, and then I'll be going over that. I have some project updates, some game updates, and we will also be going over the survey results from the survey that I issued out a couple of weeks ago. Thank you to everyone who took that survey. There were some really surprising results, actually. I'm looking forward to going over them, but I think we have to get the major announcement out of the way. That's right. A new official series. Did I announce that we were doing a new official series tonight? Okay, we're not, doing a new official series tonight. I'm just announcing this that has been in the works for quite some time, involving a new host. Not Brandon's series. Not Muso either. In fact, this is a brand new series, and I think I've kind of teased this if you were paying attention. But this series will be hosted by Kane Malden, aka Objection Sustained in chat. And he has assembled this video presentation. Take a look. Thank you, Radium. Kane Malden hates sportsmen so much. Excuse me. Kane Malden hates Sports Donchi so much he made his own damn official series. And it is called Sports Roulette: The 1,000-Year Door. Kane has indeed been cooking. And he's come up with some really cool ideas, actually. And I'm super excited to work with Kane on this project. It's going to be a lot of fun. And as I hinted from this bullet point and in the trailer, much like an Ultima Sportsman, Sports Roulette features the best athletes of today facing the best sportsmen from Pro Sportsman #1's heyday. So you're going to get your Kane Kasugis, you're going to get your, Daisuke Uhatas, along with some of the best athletes of the modern day. And we're sparing no expense in talent acquisition, I will tell you that right now. This is new to the Ninja Machine official series. Actually, I guess Survival Race and potentially Ultimate Bookmaster. But this will be an episodic format culminating in a season championship. Very similar to Sharp Tank. There's going to be a lot of Sharp Tank inspiration based on what I've been talking to Kane about. I dropped something. So each episode, there will be a certain number of competitors, and I forget if we decided on 1 or 2, or there might have been more, actually. But competitors will advance from those episodes to the season championship. And as hinted, Season 1 will be themed around Paper Mario: The 1,000-Year Door. This is something that was decided months ago, and it just so happens that the new game came out like a couple of days ago when this trailer was... That just occurred to me like last night. So again, much like Sharp Tank, there's going to be a lot of theming around Paper Mario: The 1,000-Year Door, which it seems is a popular decision in chat. And as you might expect, there are going to be some returning events, but there are going to be some all-new events as well. And just like with all other Ninja Machine official series, these new events will be coming to the vanilla game. So each episode, when there's a new event, I'll release a new content update containing those new events for you to play around at home. And as mentioned, Sports Roulette hosted by our very own Kane Malden. I think this is going to be a really cool project, like I said, and I will leave any further questions to Kane. It's going to be a lot of fun, and look forward to it eventually. You know how spotty we are with actually doing things in Ninja Machine. Must be in this part. It is time for project updates, and as I mentioned, I was trading in one project for 3 to 4, and as you might have expected, that project is the Money Cut. I was serious about doing this. I fully intended on, doing this big production, and my cursor's back. So I think it's, which one is it? Maybe this one. Some of it is done, but ultimately it depended on getting commentary or commentators and okay, this one. I'm loading the project file. If I can play it out of Premiere, because I was gonna render it and then I just forgot. Jump scare. But yeah, it just turned out to be too ambitious of a project, and I kind of figured as much, but I am willing to hand over everything I've done with it so far, just to prove to you that I was actually working on it, and we are going to watch the first couple of minutes that I made in just a little bit if I'm able to do that. And, like, Sasuke 41 was kind of ass. Like, the more I was going through it, it's like, I gotta put in 15 second stage clears, and I gotta sit through all of these and commentate them, and like 15 third stage runs where no one clears. And it's like, at this point, you know, we have Sasuke 40 Community Cut. It's basically the same damn tournament. And as mentioned, I have about the first 3 to 4 minutes of it ready. What that? I can just do this. This might be too loud. I apologize in advance if it is. Here we go. Sasuke 41, the money cut. It's bugging me that this is not full screen. Bear with me for a moment. This is the legendary Midoriyama Studios in Yokohama, Japan, where once a year, 100 athletes from all walks of life converge to battle the world's most famous obstacle course. The rules could not be simpler. Survive in advance, fall, and it's game over. The course is divided into 4 stages, each more difficult than the last. If anyone can conquer all 4 stages, they'll earn an honor bestowed unto only 4 competitors in the last quarter century. The origin of the global phenomenon begins anew, with new challengers and fan favorites alike stepping up to the start line. Will anyone among them be able to complete the arduous journey to the summit, or will the course once again reign supreme? The competitors are ready, and the course is set, so without further ado, it is once again time to begin this time-honored tradition. This is the ultimate survival attack, Sasuke!
To the
makes me want to do it anyway. But I get really freaking hard. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's a bailout option. If anyone has any suggestions on how I can do this without making real people take time out of their real lives, I'm open to suggestions. But yeah, probably not actually doing the money cut. I did cook pretty hard, though. However, as you might expect, the Sharp Tank, alive and kicking. It just occurred to me, I was watching back some old Proto Sasuke's the other day, and Philip had made a comment about, like, us still doing this in our 30s, and I'm 30 and still doing this. But I'd have it no other way. I hope I'm still doing this when I'm 40. Even though I'm fully retired from Real Ninja. Funny how that works. Season 6 Championship coming up soon. Probably at some point in June. I don't know for sure yet. Gonna level with you, though. I was fully committed to doing a final event that I wanted to do for the last 3 seasons. And then I sat down to, like, actually do it and spent, like, an entire day and finally found someone that had made, like, a 10th of what I wanted to do. And it was such complicated code that at that point I immediately gave up. So I have a couple backup plans. I just don't know for sure what I'm doing yet. So sit tight on that. I have mentioned the PGA Championship and Fruit Circuit King League are the final 2 scored events of the regular season. The PGA Championship has been recorded. The King League I attempted to record last night and started 9 separate times. Spent about 3 hours trying to do surgery, and then the game broke again, and at that point, I'm just done. So, probably going to start from scratch on that. My plan is to upload the PGA Championship on Sunday. Season 7, though, is going to be a radical overhaul of the format. We will talk about that a little bit more in the survey section. Those of you that took the survey kind of know where I'm heading with this. But because it's so drastically different, there's going to be a lot of changes I need to make to Ninja Machine. And, as a result, things that are going to come to the vanilla game. There are going to be 2 themes to Season 7. One of them is an overarching theme that I'm going to announce during the Season 6 Championship. I can't announce that theme yet because it is a dead giveaway of what the season will be. The other one I can announce, though, because it is more of a minor theme. And that theme is Roller Coaster Tycoon. We are sticking with the video games. And expect some Roller Coaster Tycoon Easter eggs in Season 7. Can't exactly describe what's going on yet. Just let me cook. You guys have had a tendency to let me cook before. Shout out Marcel Voss, by the way, for this thumbnail and just being an RCT boss in general. Yeah, I'm cooking really hard for Season 7. I might burn it. And now, you guys have been asking, what about Muso and Ultimate Bookmaster? I don't know. Honestly, I was talking to Philip about it last night, or I was going to talk to Philip about it last night, except he was in a race and crashed and was in a really bad mood and I didn't want to bring it up. So, yeah, I don't know. Start pressuring them to make Muso and Ultimate Beastmaster. Part 3, content, the part you actually care about. This featured a slide that I removed about 20 minutes before we came on the air, and so I had to scramble and make a new slide, but we'll get to that later. I am making some game updates, mostly visual fixes. Incidentally, last night while I was screwing around with why Fruit Circuit King League kept crashing, I did figure out the issue why Replace was showing up in some obstacles, and I fixed that. Or rather, I put a band-aid on it, but we're going to get to that in a little bit. So that'll be up to date in the next engine that gets released. There are some minor fixes to edge case obstacles. I don't really know how to describe this. I wrote it down as if fail go to. So like, you know how like on the mega wall when you fail it, you just do the regular wall instead, or on some obstacles there's like a penalty that you have to serve if you fail it and then you try it again or something like that. Yeah, I handled some issues with that, so they actually work now. There were also some esoteric game mode fixes. You guys seemed to generally like the esoteric game modes. I can't really describe what I fixed because it's a King League spoiler. But yeah, there were some bugs that I fixed by force. But it you know, provided some really interesting edge cases that I hadn't thought about, and now I have thought about them. So, just some minor stuff. The game engine, as it is, staying fairly similar, but there are some big updates in the actual content front. I just added this slide like an hour ago because, again, this was a announcement of a content bomb that I kind of forgot to ask the relevant person. So maybe there'll be an announcement tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe there won't be. Maybe it won't happen. But yeah, as I mentioned in Discord, I finally started using Radium's competitor suggestion list. Thank you, as always, to Radium, who will be thanked in the credits if he is not already. As of the writing of this slide, and in fact, I haven't added anyone in the last hour, there are currently 241 new competitors into the game. A lot of them were from the recommendations. Some of them I just added on my own. One major thing I updated is that I revised the statute of limitations on classic competitors to 5 years. So anyone 2019 and before, yes, COVID really is 4+ years old. So now we have like ANW 11, 10, 9, 8, that kind of era with classic competitors where I really haven't delved into that before. Mainly just because I somehow forgot to put Cass Clausen in the game. Yeah, and this is that part. Don't make me tap the sign. Radium wrote down Takuya Kawahara, and I'm like, why did you write Takuya Kawahara down? He's in the game. No, he wasn't. Who are some other names that I was like, how aren't you in the game? Megan Johnson, Alex Crumland, I could have sworn Hannah Grella wasn't in the game. Hibari wasn't in the game. What was I doing? And a shit ton of Super Ninja people. I was avoiding adding them because of, the current situation in Russia. I just kind of felt like adding a bunch of Russians was tone deaf, but then there's been another major catastrophe in the world since then, and we have a bunch of Israeli competitors, and at this point I couldn't justify not putting in Russians. Yeah, there's a bunch of people that I just straight up forgot. Some of them will also have sportsman abilities, like Leslie Blahnik will be both ninja and sportsman, even though that isn't actually even implemented in the game yet. It will be. There's also going to be new obstacles. Radium pointed out some international versions of obstacles that I just didn't know about or forgot about. Don't make me tap the sign. There's also some Sharp Tank obstacles that have come out in the last couple of months that I need to... Reese Pankratz is an edge case. I legitimately do not know who Ryan Lashoff is. I'm sure he's a nice fellow. The odds are insurmountable that he's a nice fellow. I just have literally never heard of him. I'm not personally a fan of the Monty Python stuff, but I do just love the idea of this guy on a beach saying, and now for something completely different, when he's in a tux and sitting at a desk on a beach. I don't know. This image is just hilarious. But I do have something to share with you all. Maybe you'll like this, maybe you won't. I've been putting this off for a very long time, and ultimately because the game kept crashing during the Foley ending, and I just had to keep putting band-aids on stuff, it is finally time to rewrite the game engine. Now, this is not Ninja Machine V3. I'm kind of considering like a 2.5. Why? Yeah, there are a lot of issues with the game, and ultimately I think it just boils down to the fact that V2 was written... I think V2 was publicly released in October of 2021. And Sharp Tank had been going on for a year before then. So this game is, about the same age as COVID. A&W 12 semifinalist. Do I even put all semifinalists in? I don't know. And also, it's A&W 12. It doesn't count. It's not a real season. But I've been adding a lot of new features since then and not really keeping up the old parts of the code, and they just don't play nice with each other. That is the easiest non-computer language way I can describe that. But getting the opportunity... John has an excellent point, yeah. Having the opportunity to rewrite the game engine just brings all of that up to speed, and the game code is just really clunky right now, and there's just so much more potential with it for streamlining, and once that's done, I have the ability to add a lot more cool stuff. Honestly, if I didn't tell you this, you guys would probably just think I wasn't updating the game for a couple months. And by the way, I've just barely started this, and it's in a different file, so none of the current game, the current game still works as is. You will probably not even notice much of a change, other than it's much easier for me to add content, so content's going to come more frequently. In fact, all of your old game files and custom courses will still work on the new engine. I might have to put in some kind of converter, but I'll just make it do it automatically, and you won't have to worry about it. So all your stuff will still work, which is why I'm not saying it's a V3. Possible Ninja Machine, my GM mode, V3. So yeah, content-wise, everything's staying the same. I don't have to rewrite any content. And for that reason, I don't think this is going to take super long. All of this stuff is still there, and a lot of it is probably still just going to be copy-paste. So I like I said, I don't think it's going to be too arduous of a task, if that makes sense. Honestly, I think it could be done over the summer, maybe even sooner. It might only even take me a month. It just depends on how much of my free time, which is 24 hours a day, that I feel like dedicating to this. But I think it's really important that this gets done, so that we can have more cool stuff in the fall. and Sharp Tank won't actually break because I'm going to have to write a bunch of new stuff for Season 7, as aforementioned. You may be asking why I'm not doing Course Creator V2 first, and while I am working on that, the engine rewrite takes higher priority because a lot of this stuff with Course Creator V2 is going to play a lot nicer with the new engine. So if I do that first, it gives me a springboard to what I can do with Course Creator. Not a great explanation, but yeah, it makes sense in my head. And I did learn about tree view boxes, which I showed there, so I think this would be a lot easier of a way to get the obstacle that you want, and we don't have to have the parentheses anymore. I think this will make things a lot easier to navigate, and was kind of what I was wanting in the first place. It's a little bit more low-tech than what I initially wanted, but I think ultimately this will get the job done. So just a recap of stuff that's coming down the pipeline. There will be a new limited-time event coming in September. That's going to have a lot of new content, a lot of new competitors based on the survey data that you guys had. And it will also feature a brand new game mode that will be a permanent addition. You will get this absolutely for free, and it's going to be really cool. There will be more sportsman content because I'm rewriting the game engine. It's going to give me an opportunity to make a lot more like specific events. For instance, a lot of the battle modes are just reskinned versions of the same event. And I don't like that very much. I want it to be a little bit more dynamic. And so this will give me the opportunity to do that. So I can actually hard code some stuff. And of course we have Sports Roulette. And those new events will be added as well. More game modes coming. I've mentioned, a couple times about new game modes, and the new engine will make that significantly easier to do. Even though I am no longer employed by the World Ninja League, I will still be adding the World Ninja League Championships, largely because it will just bother me if it's not in. Oh, that's the end of that part. I thought there was one more bullet point. So yeah, plenty of content still to come this summer and this fall. But after the new engine update, I think we're going to just leave it at that. Until, wait. Never mind. So part 4, survey summary. You did this. Now think about what you've done. As you all know, I put out a survey a couple weeks ago. It was very in-depth, and I am very thankful for all of your feedback, and it provided some really interesting results that I want to go over. So we're going to start with the competitors. I mentioned that there were, I think it's not Quiplash. It's the drawing one, I think, of Jackbox. It's something about Jackbox. So, as you all know, we have bonus competitors now, and I asked you what you thought about them. And it was kind of all over the board. So you guys kind of used them, but, I'm more than happy to keep putting some in because, I don't think it's really bothering the people in green, and, otherwise it's, a pretty split margin between those that use them, those that kind of have them, and those that don't care. So this is a breakdown of how you guys rated the open-ended prompts. I asked you guys to rate these statements on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 being strongly disagree, 5 being strongly agree, and 3 being neutral. So the most important one, I think, was I feel overwhelmed trying to find competitors that I know. Given how low you guys scored that, it makes me feel better about dumping another 300 competitors into the game. I generally use competitors I'm most familiar with a 4, which is interesting. The attributes of competitors generally reflect their real-life ability was kind of in the middle, and nobody said 5, which kind of alarms me, but that is something I'm going to need to go back and fine-tune. I know there were some comments about people not going for Mega Walls, and I think that the engine rewrite and some additional stat points, as well as some general maintenance, would be necessary, and that's something that I may or may not work on with some of you guys. I don't have a plan, though, so yeah. I'd like to see more non-ninja competitors, example sportsman athletes, scored super well. So I have no problems, for instance, putting the sports roulette competitors into the game. I know a lot of you guys have been interested in unlocking the sportsman competitors through melon coins, and I think based on this that some more are in order. I included that twice. I'd like to see more classic versions of competitors, also scored very highly, and I think that is also something that can be done. I'd like more ways to alter competitor attributes. I don't totally know what you guys meant by that, because I was probably too vague and didn't really ask for elaboration. But I do have a secret stat fuzz mode, and that's something that I can build in to the game to give some more fluctuation to competitors, or perhaps maybe some, I don't know. That one will need to workshop a little bit, because I'm kind of surprised that scored so highly. So let's talk courses. This is a little bit more important because there's more stuff we need to talk about here. So a lot of you guys like the bonus courses. Only one of you said you've ignored them. 2 of you said you've unlocked them but don't really play them. We had, I think that's 4 say you only really care about the new obstacles, and I think 5 said that you like the bonus and remix courses a lot. For that reason, again, I'm more than happy to introduce more remix courses. I have a lot of fun putting them together. I have several that I've written down for the future, and I'll be sure to put some new obstacles in those remix courses as well. I also asked what category of course do you play most often. Yeah, nobody answered A&W or Sportsman. Somebody said pretty much everything. One person said random course. And the vast majority of you said custom courses, and given these 2 slides, frankly, I think that's enough to finally update Course Creator to allow the bonus obstacles in. Now, I have updated the obstacles file to allow this. I've updated Course Creator to allow this. Honestly, I kind of thought I'd already done it, but no, they're finally coming. That's on me. I have tested it. It actually works. And this will be coming later today. I'll make sure it's all ready to go and upload it in a couple hours. Worst case scenario, you'll get it tomorrow. I know that there's other stuff that's broken, but at this point, I'm just going to work on Course Creator too. It clearly creates courses that work. So, I'm not super worried about it. I guess just don't use Crossroads. The new engine is completely overhauling Crossroads anyway. That's actually a pretty major point of the rewrite, is how the game handles Crossroads. So Course Creator V2 will have a much better way of actually doing Crossroads. There will be a new obstacles.mok file as well. You will need that in order to see the bonus obstacles in Course Creator. So I guess I'll have to put that together tonight as well. So yeah, that announcement gone. Let's head back to the survey results. Generally, you guys like the 4-stage format, but a good number of you like the esoteric game modes, the new formats, but generally head-to-head, and the qualifiers. I know I've seen some of you guys do qualifiers in the creation station, and I think that that's something that I can integrate into the new game engine. I don't see a problem with that. And so that's something that could potentially come to Course Creator V2 as well. So in terms of the current obstacle content, how much would you agree with these statements? 1, disagree strongly. 5, agree strongly. Instead of the pictures, I have more in-depth things I want to say about these. All of the obstacles I'll ever use are already in the game. It's 2.8 out of 5, and this scored super low. I'm not super surprised, and obviously this means I need to add in new obstacles, but these were all over the place. Like, I'm pretty sure if I showed the bar graph, it would look like a U, or like a straight line. Like a bunch of you said 1, and a bunch of you said 5. So, yeah, I don't really know what to make of that question, other than I guess I'm adding more obstacles. I like using the experimenting with new obstacles added to the game, but this scored highly, so okay. There needs to be more fast obstacles so that I can have courses with shorter time limits, scored 4 out of 5, and based on that one Sharp Tank experiment, kind of occurred to me that there weren't enough fast obstacles in the game, so that is something that I will need to prioritize so you guys can have more like speed stages and old school stage 2s, that kind of thing, and we don't have to have, 7 obstacle 8-minute stage 2s. This one I expected to be a lot higher. I like obstacles that fit into stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 buckets rather than more versatile obstacles. Given what this was, I figured this would score really highly. But it seems like you guys kind of like mixing stages together. But the main thing I wanted to ask this question for was if I should add like a stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 filter to Course Creator V2, kind of like an assist mode to help you guys, like, especially like newer players, because I obviously do want to expand this game out. Newer players would obviously be really overwhelmed with the amount of content, and so it's like, oh, well, I've made 4 out of 5 obstacles in this stage. What would go good in this spot, kind of thing. That is something that I want to do, and maybe it'll help you guys as well. So I think that adding filters for stages would be helpful. I would like there to be obstacles that users of Ninja Machine have submitted into the official game. Zero shock here, other than maybe that it wasn't higher. 4.6 out of 5. Similarly, I would regularly use a feature that allows me to turn parts of obstacles into my own obstacle. 4.5 out of 5. Definitely something I need to prioritize in Course Creator V2, and it's definitely something that I know exactly what I'm going to do with. I think that this is about the closest that I can get to having you guys like truly put in your own obstacles, unless like I were to do it. Maybe I'll have like an obstacle design contest at some point or something. We'll see. But yeah, like I said, I intend on this being a feature in Course Creator V2, but given that 4.6 out of 5 result above, it has kind of gotten me thinking about like an obstacle marketplace, or like somewhere where you guys can upload your obstacles and have other users download them. So I think that's potentially something that I could do. I don't really know how that would work yet. Yeah, to be determined. There are more complicated ways for you, but easier ways for me. And then there are more complicated ways for me, but easier for you. And we need to strike a balance. But yeah, I guess some kind of obstacle marketplace might be good. When making courses, I am easily able to find the obstacles that I want to use or obstacles that would fit the slot I'm looking for. 3.9 out of 5, kind of similar to what I was talking about earlier. This is like if like an assist mode would be necessary. And given that this was below 4, and given that I kind of want to be able to integrate newer users into the game, I think that's definitely something that I could consider, having like open slots or like a complete this course kind of button. I don't know if you guys played Planet Coaster or not, but you can hit a button to like complete Coaster and it'll find a path to the end, and perhaps that is something that I could integrate into Ninja Machine or into Course Creator as like a stretch goal. To be determined, no promises. No one answered 1 on this, which I thought was interesting. And, obviously the fact that you guys are generally able to, look through the obstacles and that you're not overwhelmed with content, does encourage me to continue to add new obstacles and new content, even though there's like already 2,000 obstacles in the game. And yeah, I think I need to do some more work with filters based off of some of the other results here. They need to be a little bit more comprehensive heading into Course Creator V2. And I know, in fact, that a lot of the newer obstacles don't even have filters on at all. So I will definitely be a lot more specific with filters. And then obviously, holy bleep, Alex just made Course Creator V2 already. It was a 4.0 out of 5. Point taken. Let's talk some Sharp Tank stuff. I did mention, and this is, what I had mentioned off the top, I was really strongly thinking about teams. Nobody said I feel strongly about competitors only competing as individuals, which was a relief. Even if you guys only felt kind of lukewarm about it. And obviously I can bail out of it if it sucks. Would you like these teams to have names? This was an interesting split. Yeah, I don't know what to make of this. Maybe they'll have names. Maybe they won't. I don't know. And so, for the team that you guys are on, you guys generally want to be able to draft your own team. Only one of you said, give me random people, let's ride. So I think, having some control over your team would be pretty nice. Ironically, though, the official Ninja Machine Fantasy League has always scored really low in surveys. I just thought that was interesting. Some other quick hits. I didn't want to show the full charts here just because it was overwhelming data. This just summarizes them. Both the regular season episodes and the season championship scored really high in terms of enjoyment, which makes me happy. The season championship, I think, was like 4.6. So I definitely need to cook there. I don't want to skimp out on it. What I was surprised by is that the bonus episodes, which was Fruit Circuit this season, Golden Control last season, also scored really high. Like, it was over a 4. So that made me happy. Golf and tennis scored really low. I'm happy to scrap tennis. I didn't really care about it either. I think I'm going to stick to just the majors for golf, but like, if golf would have scored really high, I would have thought about adding a summer tour, but like, I don't think anyone really care. I think golf was like 2.8 out of 5 or something. What I was really surprised by was Something New scored pretty low. A good number of you said 1, and I think the most common response was 3. Maybe because it was too vague, but, I think you guys generally like the plane we have right now, where there's a little bit of side content, but mainly, focus on the mainline episodes and those bonus episodes. The most positive thing I found out was I asked you guys about the cash leaderboards and the CHP leaderboards. On the cash leaderboards, 9 of you said you care about everyone, and 1 said you care about yourself, which I expected most of you to say you only cared about yourself. CHP, every respondent said they cared about everyone, which makes me super happy, and definitely something that I want to continue doing then, because you guys really like that bit. So I also asked about the other simulators, which I found these results fascinating. So, number one was racing. I added this as a control group and just kind of to fill out the form with a couple other like throwaway stuff, and this finished number one. And like I talked to my friends who watch racing about this, and they're like, yeah, I don't even know how you would code that in a simulator, but I feel obligated to at least try. Like, again, this is like 4.6 out of 5, which just like completely floors me. I put zero thought into what I would do with this. Yeah, I don't know, man. Golf was number 2. Sweet. Release soon. I just added a shit ton of new courses. I think I'm up over 500 now. Yeah, so I'm putting some finishing touches on that, and I think that could come out to a release soon, and I'm probably not even going to encrypt stuff, so you'll be able to add your own courses and shit. Soccer got number 3. Honestly, I might just tell you to go play Football Manager, because I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything in the stratosphere of Football Manager. But if anyone has any specifics on what they'd like to see, let me know, but don't hold your breath. Brant Steele style reality shows was number 4. No comment. Other game shows was number 5. Nobody specified. One person said Jeopardy, and like I don't even know how you do that. I guess I could write a bunch of Jeopardy. I don't know. I don't know. Basketball was number 6. I don't really have any comments here either. I don't even know of any basketball simulation games. Nor do I really know what I'd do here for it, but maybe? I don't know. Baseball was number 7. I have it, like, decently done. Like, I've been doing some simulations with friends, and it's fine, but because it scored so low, I don't really feel obligated to make it, like, super good. Maybe I'll release it at some point, but you guys don't seem particularly chuffed about it. American football was number 8, which I am kind of bummed about, actually. This was my plan to do next, was American football, and I might still do it anyway, just for my own benefit. I have a board game from like the 60s or 70s that I bought at a yard sale when I was a kid, and I found it at my parents' house, and I brought it here to try to code it and use modern players. So maybe I'll still do that. Maybe I won't. I don't know. It's been sitting there for a while. Hockey was number 9, which, again, I kind of at least had a plan there. But whatever. It's perfectly fine. My plan was based off of, like, Poisson distributions in an Excel spreadsheet. I mean, it was extremely low-tech. And in last place was The Price is Right, which is honestly kind of a relief, because that was going to be a massive undertaking just to get cease and desisted by Fremantle again. It would have been a fun project, but I think it would have just been biting off way too much. So yeah, that was basically the opposite of what I expected, which, honestly, is the point of having surveys. So, I don't know. And one of you, I genuinely forget who, asked about the hardest obstacles of each category, and here they are. Bartek, the hardest is Zapdos, not a surprise. Body prop, the hardest is body prop. It might actually be the only one tagged body prop. Cliffhanger Odyssey, not a surprise. Power Backstream is not a big surprise either, because it's like the only failable obstacle. Split Edge is an obstacle that was in my independent comp back in 2022 that's in the game. You had to do like a really insane reverse grip that nobody was able to do. In fact, one person didn't even try. Apparently there's fast balance and fast balance agility. I just noticed that. Exclusive to Ninja Machine, clearly I don't use that tag enough because giant frame sliders should not be the hardest of anything. And obviously not many Power Tower obstacles are actually available. Reverse grab Angry Boards. Who's shocked? I'm not. Mega Wall, again, who's shocked? Yeah, so Super Salmon Ladder shows up as the hardest upper body maneuvering obstacle. I'm sure that is a disappointment to many of you. Sorry. I also meant to say I was really surprised that Lugia ended up being the hardest Pokemon obstacle. So some of these were surprising. Some of these kind of make sense. Junidon has the most steps, so S-Curve is a really hard spider obstacle. Area 53 being marked as a slider is kind of misleading. Yeah. Go back and pause the VOD if you want to look more at those. If you guys want to know more stats, let me know specifically what you'd like, and I can run some stuff. So that is the conclusion. But there's one more announcement. You see, I strategically left one really important question off of the survey section, which was, what would you guys want to see out of a new Ninja Machine official series? And some of them was testing the waters for Sports Roulette, which fared pretty well, actually. So that is a relief. Some of them that I didn't want to do scored pretty low, which is also a relief. But one of them scored vastly higher than the others, and it's something I've wanted to do for years anyway, so you all have given me motivation to do it. And fun fact, this may explain a very questionable Ninja Machine decision from years ago, because I was going to do this, but then I didn't. There's background music. Please take a look at this presentation because I didn't feel like making a video. The year is 2002. The attention of our world is on a war in Afghanistan in the aftermath of 9/11. Salt Lake City hosts the Winter Olympics. South Korea and Japan host the FIFA World Cup. Kinniku Bansuke has just ended, leaving Sasuke in an uncertain state. And perhaps, given this chaotic time, if done again, some different decisions may be made. In Sasuke 8, Katsumi Yamaga announced that he would retire. And he actually does. Forgoing Sasuke, accepting that he will never win, and retiring to a quiet life with his family. The Katsumi Yamada good ending. But he's not the only All-Star who was affected. Because if you recall, there was another All-Star in Sasuke who failed to work with. And he hadn't made it through in that point. And that's Mikoto Nagano. Nowadays, you generally only ever get one shot. Think back to Keita Tomino, all the things that he was capable of, but he's never got the chance to show it. And so Makoto Nagano, having only 2 Soritotsukabe fails to his name, is not invited to further Sasuke tournaments. But there are 2 heroes to replace these 2. Sasuke 8 was the climactic final with Jordan Yochev and Ken Kasuki. In our timeline, with the Bansuke era ending, they left us. And it took Kane another 21 years. 21 years of his prime, where he never saw the Sasuke course again. He did see some of Jordan Yochev, but by that point, his prime had 2 passed. If invited again, and if they competed again, what would have happened? With Kane Kasuki, now the star of the show, would he finally have achieved his Sasuke dream? Would he have made the final stage again? Would he have been the second champion after Kazuki Akiyama? Or would there be someone else that we didn't even think about? And to do this, we need to resurrect a legend after a certain mythical land has laid dormant for many years. Coming soon, Ninja Machine Official Series presents Proto Sasuke, The Kane Chronicles. Stay tuned for more information. Thank you for watching Ninja Machine Direct.